In what many fans have sort of taken as just trust the process, but it's coming to fruition, Martin. The marquee signings this summer is like no other that Arsenal have seen in recent years. Declan Rice, is he the missing jigsaw puzzle?
Well, let's hope so. I think he's still got a lot of development in his game, but the energy, the personality that he has, he's a leader, obviously the captain from West Ham, suggests to me that Arsenal could go one step further this year. Of course, Man City have lost players, haven't they? But this is a young man who could go all the way to the top. Great distribution, drives out now from the back. He was a central defender initially going into midfield, but now he looks like he's really reading the game really well. He's better in that final third, which is what he's shown already from an Arsenal point of view. And I think he's going to be a big success. There he is with a long-range pass.
He was sensational for West Ham last season, and obviously captained them to the UEFA Europa League trophy as well. I said the other week that at 105 million, you know, with players there's an element of a gamble whenever you sign them. I just don't think there's a gamble whatsoever with Declan Rice. You know, I think he's proved himself at West Ham in a side that has done quite well but has also struggled at times. He's proved himself at international level for England. He's now gone to a far superior club, no disrespect to West Ham whatsoever, and he's going to take it in his stride, in my opinion.
One thing he did say, though, didn't he, last week, was it was an awful lot of information that he had to take.
The Community Shield,
yes, that he had to take on board. Today, perhaps that's why he's got that midfield on his own. Maybe he's better when he sits there because his athleticism is quite remarkable. A few times at the weekend against Man City, he came flying out of his midfield berth for no reason, for no real reason. So I think maybe that deep line role might be better for him, where he can actually pull his strings.
And there were times, not in this particular clip we've just seen, but there was times that actually he dropped into a left-back position when Timber went forward in this Community Shield game as well. So I think what Declan Rice is experiencing is that he's joined an Arsenal football club that is a lot more fluid in their style and in their rotation than he played in at West Ham. I remember when I left Brighton and went to Tottenham, as a full-back at Brighton, we showed everybody outside. At Tottenham, show them inside to the numbers. And it was really difficult for me to pick up on that. It took time because the natural instinct wasn't there.
Is it also perhaps a pressure, Martin, of wanting to show that he is of this value, of wanting to do too much to show because of the amount of fees that they paid for him and the name that he is to come into Arsenal?
No, I think if we listen to Grealish, who's at a similar club with a manager who, when he was at Villa, he was basically given the ball and asked to go and play, wasn't he? He's a creative player. Suddenly he's given a role to do and he stays out wide on the left, occupying lots of bodies. This is the same now for Declan Rice. I think he obviously, when he was at West Ham, when he wanted to burst through, as we saw those clips, that was his moment. He chose it. With this manager, he's saying, no, you go when I tell you. And it's kind of like moving around to each player, as you say. They've gone forward, Timber, he sits in for Timber when he gets forward. So he's got to learn the role. He's not going to do it overnight. It's going to take time, but I do feel he's the best player that Arsenal could have gone for. He's equipped to do it.
And the good thing as well, Arsenal signed him really early and he's been at the club for the entire pre-season, which gives him a better chance as well.
Does he add a bit more, I guess, a bit more balance in that midfield? Because you talk about that number 6 role, but he and Partey are very different sort of number 6s.
He's more of a defender, isn't he? I think that was something, that bit of steeliness was maybe missing for many years when you think back to teams of the past. So certainly Patrick Vieira was in there. This is someone that if a Vieira was, I'm not saying he's at that level, but he certainly would have taken Vieira on physically. So they need that. It's just a message to Partey. We need more from you. You need to, you're under pressure now. This is the thing, pressure for places. Can they deal with it in that environment? That's the other side of the coin now. Is 1 or 2 players today, the manager's been ruthless. They told, Gabriel said, yeah, that's fine. I don't mind competition. Well, now how do you feel now? Because you're not playing. So, this is a marathon, this Premier League. So it's not necessarily about today, it's for the rest of the season.
Yeah, of course. And just really briefly, Granit Xhaka was at the club and he was supposed to add a little bit of steel, but it was indisciplined a lot of the time. He picked up too many cards, got sent off too many times. Declan Rice adds the steel, but he adds it with some restraint as well. Declan Rice doesn't pick up stupid yellow cards and stupid sending offs.
Right. Are they going to miss Granit Xhaka then? You think?
No.
Well, it's an interesting one how he recovered, because initially he didn't do well. Yeah. But you know, I think that they got 25 million for him, and that really the manager he played 99% of the games last season. And you were at your early 30s. I think they've made the right call in moving him on and bringing in Declan Rice.
Martin, they're better with Declan Rice than Granit Xhaka, surely.
Yeah, well, I
100%.
think so. Oh, OK, long term, but I think we still show respect for Granit Xhaka.
No, I'm not being disrespectful either.
As well he did that last couple of seasons,
But he has always split opinions, Granit Xhaka.
Massively, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially amongst the Arsenal fans.
Yeah, I mean, I was not. I can tell you, I wasn't a massive fan, but I warmed to him in those last couple of years because, you know, the man was in a bad way. You know, the fans had turned their back on him. He was a lonely guy. He lost the captaincy, so he did remarkably well to get back. But I think really the manager sort of patched him up, got the best from him, and maybe got the most money for him that he could. He's now gone for what will be, I think, a better solution.